Hey everyone. I wanted to talk about the pandemic again. There's not a lot for me to talk about at this moment, so I figure the pandemic is a good thing to chat about. Um, I was thinking about the good that comes from something of this nature of a pandemic, and in relative terms, I can think of a lot of good things, but it's not that easy to accept the change that comes along with something of this sort. And I've encountered something similar to this, and it's probably the first time I'm going to really openly talk about it, is the closest thing that I have to coming to forcing me to change or do things in my life is going through a divorce. That for me was a big shift and a big change of my normal. And so with that particular scenario, there was a lot of letting go, and a lot of letting go of hurts, pains, good and bad, and blame, and all these different things. But the process of going through that situation allowed me to grow and become a person that I have continued to become. And initially when it happened, it seemed horrible, awful. Like, can I ever recover from it? Can anything ever be as good as what I had? And all these different things go through your mind. And the more you tend to try to let go of these old thoughts, these old relationships, these old scenarios, what you soon find out is they were there for a reason. And every relationship, every situation, everything that you go through is there for a reason. And the thing is figuring out what the reason is. And or actually, I guess, let me take that back. You don't even need to know the reason. It's just the more you can just accept that's where you're at, this is what you're going through, and this is your new normal. That is probably the most important thing. Is it's a new normal. And so what was normal for me prior to separation to what's normal now is massively different. Like the way I look at the world, the way I look at relationships, the way I look at life is very different now. And amazingly, I think it's for the better. My ability to manage stress, my ability to manage problems, my ability to see the good in situations has significantly changed and significantly improved, and I enjoy that. Like that's probably one of the greatest things that came from my separation. Now, when I compare this to the pandemic, similar scenarios are happening, right? Like I was forced to shut down, as most people were. I was forced to change, forced to shift, forced to do all these things. I didn't want to do it. Now, when I look back at the scenario, I did want change. In my life, I wasn't happy with where my profession was at. I wasn't happy with how I was practicing. I wasn't happy with my identity. My people didn't understand what I do as a profession. And all through my career, I've had a hard time labeling that or describing it. So what the pandemic has done for me is it's forced me to really, really look deep in and see what is it that I can do to help people understand what I can do for them. So again, it's a redefining. It's a redefining of me, redefining of my relationships, redefining of situations. And amazingly, the pandemic has caused a lot of ruckus in my life, and I'm assuming it's caused a lot of chaos in a lot of people's lives. But the chaos is there. The chaos, you can't really change it other than your perspective of the chaos. And so I choose to look at the chaos as the chaos propels you forward. And the cool thing is, if you look at how people respond to the chaos that's created, there's really two ways to go about it. You can fight it. And when you fight it, what ends up happening is that you try to hold on to the past. You try to hold on to what was normal, what was happy, what was great, all these different things, these definitions you had of the past. And you hold on to it because that's all you know, and that's all you want. And oddly enough, it doesn't even have to be that good, but that's what you're holding on to. And so, the pandemic has been cool for me in the sense, again, there's this sense of losing it all. And to be honest, I've never really wanted to go back through another losing it all, but here I am. But the beauty of this scenario, the beauty of this situation is, if I can recognize losing it all doesn't mean losing all the great things in life. I start looking at it as I'm losing the things that have been holding me back. So there is resistances, there's things within inside me that are preventing me from taking a step forward, taking a step to progress. And this last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I don't know how long it's been going, but the growth has been there, right? Like the change has been there, the shift has been there. And now it's just seeing the effects of it, the after effects of this pandemic on my life. The more I accept it, the easier it is. The more I just look at it and say, well, I guess this is where I'm at today. This is what's going to happen today. And accept it. The day becomes so easy. Now, if I fight it and say, why me, why this, why that, and this shouldn't be happening this way, I can't believe this happened this way, can't believe what's on the news, can't believe this, can't believe... When you get caught up in that, it's really easy to let this stuff get the best of you. And you can see, in theory, you can see the worst of you. And you can see a side of you that you don't like, that you don't enjoy. And that side can come out quite easily in these type of moments. And so I think it does take a little bit of practice, a little bit of time, a little bit of energy, of every day constantly letting go of the old you, the old self, the old description of yourself. So just drop all your labels, is what I've been practicing on, is just drop the labels, drop the labels, drop the labels, and then see what happens. See where things fall into place. And in reality, the dropping of labels, you may find that, no, this one label truly did fit. There's nothing wrong with that. You can keep it. It's a take it or leave it type gig. And so working through this stuff is kind of fun because you can challenge yourself. You can challenge your beliefs. You can challenge your relationships. You can challenge what was normal and what was your standard of happiness. What was your standard of enjoyment? And see if that's really what you want, and see if that's really what satisfies you. And if it is, go for it, man. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you may find, and what I think people are seeing more and more, is they're finding that things weren't as good as I thought it were, or thought they were, and maybe I can make them better, and maybe I can make a change, and maybe I can pursue something different. Now, this pursuit comes with letting go, and letting go of the old, letting go of the old story, letting go of the old hurts, the old relationships, all these different things that hold you back. In my opinion, that's the most important thing that you have to look at to overcome before you can take those steps. And once you do that, it becomes a pretty amazing experience. And so this pandemic, I can't say that I've enjoyed every day, that I've been happy every day, that I've all these different things every day, but what I can say is I can see the outcomes of it is well worth it. And the struggles I'm going through are nowhere near what a lot of people are going through, and I can appreciate that. But I'm guessing there's a lot of people going through a lot of inner struggle, and as bad as it is, inner struggle can just eat people alive, and that inner struggle is rough. Push through it. You may find that this pandemic has been the best blessing you've ever had. So yeah, I hope this helps. I hope you get some good out of it, and take care. All right, bye.